Alright, so starting off today's video, we're actually going to be cleaning up the engine bay. This is going to be the actual like washing, rinsing, degreasing, and then painting episode, I guess. So I've gotten everything pretty much stripped to where there's no real major components that are going to get soaked if I would just wash this engine. So I've went ahead actually now, and I've gone ahead and I've just covered up the distributor. I've just miscellaneously covered up some of the wiring over there. I'm going to tuck this away. I put rags inside here, put tape over it, and then just put a block on it just to make sure most of it was out. But I'm not using a power washer. I'm just going to rinse it a little bit and then put some degreaser over that and then go back over it again and then just scrub and brush and rinse over and over again. So yeah, I'll just rinse it off right now and then go from there. So I've gone ahead and I've introduced the motor to water just to get all the dry parts wet, so then I can use this, which isn't Windex. It's called Purple Power. It's a driveway degreaser oil cleaner. It's pretty strong. You can get any dried oil out of your driveway with it. Purple Power I got it at you can get it at any hardware store, or not any hardware store, any auto store. I picked it up at O'Reilly's. I think it was 20-something bucks for a gallon or whatever. So yeah, I'm just going to start spraying parts that have a lot of grease on them, and then I'll come back and let that sit, and then I will go ahead and take a brush and I'll start scrubbing some of these parts, and then I'll come back and I'll rinse it again, and then I'll do it one more time. So I'll go ahead and I'll start introducing this to this stuff. So yeah. So that's already starting to, I can see on the heads. I think these are aluminum heads actually, but yeah, it's already starting to lift. I can see on the power steering it totally just took all the grease off right here alone, and then I can see, I didn't realize it before, that this was old blue. This was a Ford blue on there. I can just kind of pick it off with my finger. I'm debating on painting the power steering pump. I don't know if I want to take the lines off to do that yet. But as of now, I can see all the old colors coming back. I can see this was blue. The power steering pump, I'm sure, was blue at one time. I could see the pulley itself was blue. But I'm seeing all the colors come back. So I'm going to go ahead and let this sit for 10 to 15 minutes or so. Come back with a brush, start brushing some of this stuff off. These heads look really nice when they're done. It's just going to take a while. So I'll go ahead and I'll start scrubbing some of these other parts, get all this other junk off. It's going to take a long time, that's for sure. So just a quick update. After a lot of spraying and a lot of scrubbing, a lot of rinsing, the oil pan actually is blue. And yeah, it's looking pretty good under there. And on top of that, I'm convinced this is actually a very new motor. The heads are looking like they're in amazing condition. I don't know if those are painted. I doubt they're aluminum, but I don't really know. But everything looks in very good condition actually. I might wire brush this while it's in here, take a wire wheel and just clean it, and then spray some clear over it while it's in here, instead of taking it out and trying to paint it black. I might take the pulley off of it though, paint that. Now I'm degreasing this side, so you can see here's the after, and then here's kind of the before. It's really kind of nasty in this area, and now it's a little bit cleaner. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. So here we are now. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's just dirty, right? This is going to be a bright blue just like it was. I'm going to take some of these other brackets off, paint those. All the pulleys are getting painted, like I said. But yeah, we're just moving pretty slow, I guess. I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to do next, so it just takes a little while. But yeah. Okay, so all the brackets and pulleys that I was going to take off are basically off. I was going to pull the crank off, but I remembered that I need a puller, and I'm not going to go into town and get a puller because everything's already off of it, and all I was really going to do is paint it, so there's no really point in taking it off. So I'm just going to paint around it. I can easily fit in here with a paint can and just hit the front of it. I mean, you're not really going to see it, so just cleaning it up a little bit will help. But I got a couple brackets over there. I got the power steering pump, and then I got a couple other brackets on the side of the house I'm going to paint. Get those cleaned up. Letting this intake manifold and the whole top of this motor just dry before I pop the valve covers off and take all this stuff off to get the intake manifold painted. But that's where we're going right now, so let's go paint some stuff. So here's a couple of the brackets and pulleys that I got. I was kind of pissed off. I got the wrong color blue. I ended up getting this color blue, which is a light blue, but all the original parts, you can tell that they're dark navy, old Ford blue. There's a couple layers on this you can see in the sun. You can see this has the light and dark blue on it already. I'm doing the dark blue because that's what I think the 428 should have. I'm about to paint the radiator shroud right now, or the fan shroud right now, because I have a bunch of black and one can of just the dark blue, so I'm gonna go ahead and shoot all the black stuff first. So I'll go ahead and get the fan shroud out of the way. So if you have parts that are like old and rusty, like this was pretty nasty when I just took it off. It's a little bit better now, so I don't have access to a sandblaster, so what I did is pretty much just took a wire brush and cleaned some of it off, and then I took a heavy drill wire brush and then went over it, and then I just took most of the rust off, and then I took a wax remover, and then I cleaned all the excess off of that, so nothing's sticking to it, so I can go ahead and shoot it black. So now we're going with that. So I'm good and cleaning this up now. The last parts that I just sprayed didn't get wire wheeled very well, so they kind of look like crap, which really bums me out because I wanted to make this engine look outstanding. So I'm actually taking the time before I spray these because my dad prepped those ones and I didn't even look at them because it was dark. So now I'm doing these ones and I've wire wheeled the sides of them, and then you can see what it looks like in here and what it used to look like on this side. You can see all the grease and paint that it lifts up. So when you spray over this, you'll see all this. So that's why it's nice to go ahead and take a wire brush on a drill like I'm doing right now. Just go over it. It takes about 5 minutes a piece, so I'm just doing this real quick. I'll do a couple other parts, and then I'll probably even do this a little bit more, and then we'll spray everything, and then we'll be done. We'll get ready to put everything back on. So I just finished going ahead and wire wheeling this one up, taking most of the old paint off. Don't worry about getting it all, because the rest you can just fill all the cracks and use it as a base primer. But I went ahead and cleaned this one. You can see it's a little bit hard right here because I couldn't get in there, but you can see that's what it used to look like. It's kind of like super rough, and then you smooth out the back, and then you wouldn't even notice I had paint on it before. But like on this one, you can totally see where I missed a lot of spots. I didn't really even look at this that well. Probably should have. Kind of pissed off about that. Same with the water pump pulley, but oh well. Alternator bracket looks pretty good. You can see the Fomaco stands out really nice. It's even got the engine code. I'm pretty sure the C6AEA is for the engine that it's going on. Each one of these should actually have that tag, I think. But yeah, this one's super noticeable, which really sucks. You can see the lighting. It's got a lot of messes in it. Oh yeah, there it is. I can see the tag. The EA right there, the C. That's the engine tag. Or all that. I think they're the engine tags. I think all those are just the identifications on where the parts are. They're just the part numbers, I'm pretty sure. But I noticed that on a lot of these parts, they all have that tag. Yeah, see, this doesn't look nearly as smooth as this, which really sucks. But it still looks a lot better than it did, which is the whole point. So yeah, I'll get painting this. Get ready to spray the power steering pump. So here's a little aftermath of some of the parts. The radiator shroud I think turned out the best. This thing looks incredible. There's some of the alternator and power steering brackets as I walk outside. Here's the before of the air cleaner, what it used to look like, and then just a coat of paint. That's literally all I need. It laid really smooth actually, so I'm pretty stoked with how this is coming out. I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'll start painting this. And I painted this one. That one looked way good. Super stoked with how that came out. And then the fan bracket that goes onto the pulley, that's coming out amazing too. You can see the Ford stamp still in it, and a couple other stamps on it. So yeah, I'll come back when everything's done. We're getting ready to install. So I've gone ahead and I've cleaned and wire wheeled the entire top of the manifold. As you can tell, it's got a lot. It's actually shiny now. You can actually like see in there. Some spots I got better than others. Like you can see, there's still a little bit of grease and whatnot in here. I'm gonna clean up as best I can because I don't want to take the manifold off. And then I'm gonna go ahead and tape everything off and spray. I'm assuming I can get just about everything I need to get, and you won't really notice any imperfections, I don't think, when the motor's all together. But if someone down the road wants to actually take it apart and get it coated, then they can. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw a coat of blue over it. So I'll go ahead and start taping stuff off. Just a cool little trick to when you're taping stuff off. I take the side of a flathead screwdriver, rub it along the edges, and then it peels it off instead of trying to take a knife blade and etch it out perfectly. You just rub this along the sides and it'll peel off just perfect like that. All you gotta do is rub it along. It'll etch itself out. There it is. Look at that, all done. So we're pretty much ready to paint now. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this. It'll be the last thing I cover. And then I'm just gonna like tuck things away so they stay mostly out of my way. But this isn't like a professional paint job. I'm literally just using a Duplicolor dark Ford blue engine paint. I'm just dressing it, you know. I'm not trying to make this some sort of show vehicle because obviously, I mean, you can look around. This isn't going to be some $30,000 restoration. I'm just trying to make it appealing to the person that's buying it because this is actually a new motor. This motor has probably 35,000, 40,000 miles on it total. And I mean, the dipstick doesn't have any sort of anything in it, and it's not even, it's new oil too that's in it. I can tell it's not even fully black. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and I'll start just spraying it lightly, get some of the main spots. It's going to be hard with the distributor here to get inside here. That's going to be the hardest part, I think, but the rest of this should be pretty easy, I think. And then I'll tape off some of these other things and I'll get in there pretty good. So we'll go ahead and we'll start painting. Manifolds all painted up. Turned out pretty good. Not really any overspray. Some layers that I couldn't get all the grease off just kind of sat. Not a big deal. You won't really notice it. But the rest of it turned out actually really good. It looks brand new. You can't even tell that it was. I mean, from the top it looks like it's been rebuilt. It obviously has not. But now I'm getting ready to pull the valve covers off so I can paint these the exact same color, and they'll look the same. And then I'll also see what the what the rockers and valves and valve springs and everything look like. That whole valve train looks like underneath the valve cover. We're going to see what that looks like. So I'll go ahead and start taking this off. Damn, I don't like that. That is definitely a new motor though. Although I don't know who left the PCV off, but someone didn't seal this very well. So I'm about to clean all that. But it looks really good. Wow. Minus the rust, obviously. Damn. I have to clean all that. Kind of hoping that this one might turn out a little bit better, but yeah, that didn't happen. See if I can get a light on that. Oh yeah, it's even on the push rods. Hell yeah. Great, that's awesome. Oh yeah. Ew. What caused this, honestly? I'm actually pretty curious. I feel like it had to do with this not being sealed. Or water got in here. Yeah, but I personally haven't seen this before. I mean, it looks like it's... What the heck? I've never seen that. It's like there were droplets that just hardened and rusted. It just looks so weird. So this is generally what the rocker arms look like before. There's a lot of corrosion. It's like fresh. You can wipe it off with your finger. And I went ahead and took just a regular sponge and paper towels and tucked them in here and cleaned them off, and they look a lot better. They're not perfect. As you can see, some of the push rods are perfect, and then the other ones have corrosion on them still. So later on down the road, I'm sure it's going to need a valve job. I think one of these seals are leaking. Maybe that one's leaking, and this one and that one a little bit. But generally they're not as bad as they were at all, because this was actually the better side. This was the worst side, and now these look a lot better than these. So now I'm going to go ahead and clean this side up, and then we should be good. I'll go ahead and get the valve covers painted, and then we'll actually reassemble everything. We'll get ready to start putting every single piece back on. So